I'm searching out the rarest cars in America, on the back roads, hiding in barns, untold secrets of pure muscle and steel just waiting to be discovered. Gold on wheels. Oh my gosh. My name is John Hames, and it's my journey to find them. Yeah, hello gorgeous. Look at that. I am the American Car Prospector. The American Car Prospector is on the prowl.
The American Car Prospector John Hames finds himself in Morrison, Colorado, trying to source some rare cars for one of his high-end buyers. John doesn't have any leads at this point. Hope he has some luck.
Well, I'm in Morrison, Colorado, and I've been striking out all day. I got nothing going here. I know there's a car here somewhere that's the right one for me, but can't find it at the moment. But it's early in the day, and I'm gonna keep looking. What's that? Look at that right there. Well, I was there in the high country outside of Denver in Morrison, Colorado, and I just had nothing going on. I couldn't seem to find a vehicle, and I couldn't get any leads on any vehicles, and I had nothing going on. And I just pretty much decided to head for the barn, and I was coming down the main drag there in Morrison, and I noticed this beautiful red 442 sticking out of this old garage.
And just like that, John's on a car.
You know, I think I'd like to know this fellow. Look at that. That looks like a really nice car. Comes a little Stingray in here too. Oh, it's like a muscle car headquarters around here today. That's crazy how great that car is. Look at that. Awesome. You gotta love it, you know? Hey, buddy. Can I look at your 442?
Sure.
Thanks, that's really a nice car. I'm John.
I'm Clint.
Hey, Clint, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
You the proprietor here?
I am.
Nice. It just looks so historic, you know? And then with this 442 sitting here, it could be 1960, what is that, a 67?
67.
So it could be 1967, you know?
Yep, it's a neat old building.
Depending on the car, it might be 1927, I get the feeling, you know?
Well, yeah, the building looked a little bit different back then.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Different world they lived in then, for
Yeah,
sure.
it was. Even back in 67, it was different.
Crazy. Well, yeah, I love 442s, and that one just looks like a really solid car.
Thank you.
Well, look, I know you're busy. Let me take a squint at the car, and maybe I can catch up to you in a minute.
You bet. I'll
Thanks,
be right
Clint. All right. Okay, so this is a 67. In those days, it was a Cutlass Supreme that they badged as a 442. What this was a Cutlass special that they put into an option package called the 442. So 4-barrel, 4-speed, dual exhaust, all right? This car strikes me as a very original, really great, you know, typical muscle car that you find in Colorado. An absolutely outstanding example and one of my favorite muscle cars. And this door seam is exactly perfectly straight. All the trim fits perfectly coming across there. It's got the original Oldsmobile Rally wheels, very difficult to find in that condition. In fact, if I had to say there was one thing that was refurbished on this car, it's probably the wheels. I mean, those things look like they're absolutely new. But what a super, super nice example of a really great 442. I'd like to try to buy this. Oh yeah, you gotta love it. It's got the 442 chrome air cleaner, the gold valve covers. I mean, you can see that they spent a lot of time on this car to get it, you know, to the condition it's in. Look at that badge right there, that's awesome. But it's a driver, you know, this thing's no show car. It certainly could be shown, but this car is somebody's family driver. They probably take it to the drive up on weekends and maybe occasionally to a show or something like that. Really great car. Hey, Clint. Hey, buddy, you haven't thought about selling this car recently, have you?
John's only been in the shop for a couple of minutes, and he's already trying to deal on this immaculate 442. When we come back on the American Car Prospector, will John get this car? And what else does Clint have hiding in his shop? Stay tuned. The American Car Prospector is in Morrison, Colorado, and his day may have started off slow, but he found a beautiful 442 right on Main Street.
What's that? Look at that right there. I was coming down the main drag there in Morrison and I noticed this beautiful red 442 sticking out of this old garage. And I stopped and looked at it. Turned out the shop owner there was a guy named Clint, and he's a real expert in muscle cars. And well, I was talking to Clint about that 442. You know, I always have buyers for a good, rust-free, complete 442, restored or not.
He asked Clint, the owner, if he wants to sell the car, and John is hopefully waiting for a positive response. Let's see if he gets this deal done.
Hey, Clint.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, you haven't thought about selling this car recently, have you?
No, I'm still having too much fun with it.
But he wouldn't do, truthfully, I don't think he'd have sold that car to me if I was St. Peter. He just didn't want to sell it.
Well, that isn't what the American Car Prospector wanted to hear. No deal on this 442. But John still has hope. Clint also has a beautiful Buick he's working on for a client.
It turned out that he had another vehicle there that was a customer car. Guy was a little later in life and had been thinking about selling it. It was a beautiful silver 55 Buick. And I mean, really a nice one. Zero rust, totally complete. It's got the nailhead V8 in it. Awesome, awesome cars. Wow, Clint, you really gotta love this American heavy metal like this old Buick, you know it?
Yeah, they don't make them like they did in the 50s.
I mean, just look at that taillight assembly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's enough metal in that to build half of a car today. You know what I mean?
Chrome everywhere.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, and I love the hubcaps and stuff that these cars all came with. Like this one here. I mean, that hubcap is built so that that hubcap will look like that in 300 years.
Yeah, they don't dissolve like they do now.
I mean, you gotta love it. 55 is what this is?
55, yep.
Wow, I can't wait to see the interior.
Well, it's a nice little car.
Let's just open this door here.
Sure.
Oh, look at that. It's got the little gold sparkly stuff in the seat.
And it's all tri-colored throughout the entire interior.
Okay, so you've got your red, your white, and your black.
Right. And then it's also got all the silver piping, you know, and so it was luxury back then.
So this is a pillarless coupe, so that there's no pillar in between the front and back window. So what did they call this? Did they call it a sport coupe or a?
I'm going to say that it's a sedan, but it's got to be more like when the Oldsmobiles had their holidays. The holidays didn't have anything anywhere in between.
Have you ever heard them called a hardtop convertible?
No, I haven't heard that.
I've heard that word, and I don't know if that's right, but I've heard them called a hardtop convertible when they don't have a pillar in between the front and the back.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that either. Looks like there's some other goodies in here.
Yeah, we're doing some work on it. We're trying
like...
to get it back into shape for the customer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's thinking about selling it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
You know, before we leave this, I just gotta say how much I love this rope. You've got a little handle if you're a backseat passenger there. You know, I mean, you gotta love that.
Well, depends on how bad the driver is, I guess.
Yeah, that is so 1950s. I gotta love it. I love everything about this car. This is so cool. Now that's what I call a dashboard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I mean, this thing is just ridiculous.
Again, yeah, it's neat. It's, you know, from everything from the Dynaflow transmission, the automatic that it's got in it, which was, you know, pretty high tech for back then.
Sure.
You know, all the way through, it does have the clock in the dash. And then you actually, there is no start position in the key. on this vehicle.
Okay.
You turn the key on and then you press the accelerator and the vehicle starts.
Aha. So no start position, you just turn it on and then press on the gas and she goes.
And it fires up and away you go.
So how do they do that? Is there actually a relay in there?
There's a relay and then there's also a timer. As soon as it knows that it's started, then it goes ahead and shuts that starter back off.
Okay, so it has a relay that engages the starter and a timer that shuts it off.
Right.
Interesting.
Yep.
Pretty
Yep.
high-tech stuff.
High tech for back then.
Really cool. I mean, this is General Motors' finest. And this is a Century.
Correct.
Okay, did they make a Roadmaster in this year?
Yes. And they also made a Super.
And a Super. Okay. You know, I gotta just notice that right here, here's the shop manual for it.
Yep, they don't have the shop manuals online, and you know, for something this old.
Right. So you have to go old school when you want to work on it here at here at your shop.
Wipe your hands off and don't get the pages dirty.
Right, right. And then I see here there's a book on the transmission. Is that just to help you for when you're seriously hung up?
Well, you know, it's not like the stuff that you usually work on every day. So, you know, some of this stuff is a little bit before my time.
I love it. I love everything about it. And then this must be the restoration.
Yeah, this is what the customer is supplied with the vehicle, you know, to go as far back as you know, the history that they can pull up on it.
As they had on it, right. Well, this just looks like a really good old car, but you say he's thinking about selling it.
Yeah, that's we're getting a couple of leaks fixed here and getting a couple of maintenance items taken care of, and he's doing that so that he can go ahead and put it up for sale.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting. Well, what do you say we take a look at the engine on this old girl?
Okay.
Let's do that. Nice. Wow, that looks like a nail head.
Yep, it's the old nail head, and it's got a 4-barrel on it.
Nice.
Yep, it's got power steering.
You know, it looks nice and dry. You were doing a little work on the brakes or what?
Actually, we're resealing the torque tube on it, and then we went ahead and put some front shocks on it, and the rear shocks on this thing are actually, they're not a replaceable cartridge. So they stay with the car.
Right.
And then you service the rear shocks on it.
Right. What do they have, like O-rings you change and stuff?
Yeah, and then they use a hydraulic oil in them.
Hydraulic oil, right. Kind of typical for that day and age, actually.
Right.
More than one car came with an arrangement like
Sure,
that.
sure.
But this thing runs and drives, it looks like.
Oh yeah, it sure does. It's a nice little car. It was just a few minor things that needed to be taken care of on it.
And you say the owner has thought about selling it?
Yeah, he's that's what it's here for. We're going to get some of these things taken care of, and then he's going to go ahead and sell it and move on to his next project.
Really? Well, I just wanted to kind of point out the chrome and everything on this vehicle. I'm not sure what it would cost you to re-chrome that in today's world, but you know, probably send a kid to college.
Probably.
For about what it would cost to re-chrome this. That must be the phone.
Yep.
John tries to get a deal going on this 55 Buick. When we come back on the American Car Prospector.
He'd like to get about 18 out of it.
18? I was thinking more like 8.
The American Car Prospector is trying to work a deal on a beautiful 55 Buick, and the shop owner Clint is selling it for a customer. Clint asked for $18,000, and John countered with $8,000, which didn't go over well. Let's see if they can come to some common.
Appreciate it, Clint.
You bet. It's been good doing business with you.
Awesome car.
Yeah.
I know the new owner is really going to enjoy it. I
Yeah.
can't wait to drive it myself. I'll bet it's authoritative when it's going down the road.
It's a lot of fun to drive.
I'll bet. I can't hardly wait.
Let's tally things up on this 55 Buick. Purchase price on this rare gem, $12,000. John's prospector fee, $3,000. John will be offering this to his European buyer at $15,000 and some change for shipping. Looks like the American Car Prospector has done it again.
Working today, and this guy showed up with his big cowboy hat and came in, and he started looking at my 442. And he was pressuring me into buying it, and it wasn't for sale. But I did show him a Buick that we had in the back here that was for sale once we got her all fixed up. And you know, we actually were able to come to a deal and get the car sold. And so now my customer's happy and his customer's happy. And it turned out to be a good day.
This old Buick Century, this 1955, is another ace in the hole for the American Car Prospector. I can't wait to take it home, give it a new owner.
During the final transaction, Clint told John about another rare car in the hills, and he's headed there now.
So I'm talking to this guy, Clint, at this shop in Morrison, and he tells me about his buddy Gus, who lives up this way, who has a real nice Mustang. And he's been thinking about building another Mustang, so we're gonna drive up here and have a look at it. It's supposed to be up this road here somewhere. Oh, I think I see it through the trees here. Isn't there a blue Mustang sitting right there? Yeah, there is, look at that. But as I was looking through the trees, all of a sudden I could just see it sitting there in front of the garage. And boy, it looked really sweet. It had that grabber blue paint job, had those rally wheels. I mean, that was a moment when I saw that Mustang and I knew that that Mustang was mine. This guy strikes me as a real car guy, you know? And that Mustang looks solid. Whew, look at that, that beautiful, that's what they called grabber blue. That's not Ford blue because it's very close, but that's actually the grabber blue that only came on Mustangs. That particular car is a Grande. See, it says Grande and it has the vinyl top. If this is a real Grande and it's in good condition like I think it is, there's a hard number that it takes to acquire that car, but let's see what kind of deal we can make with this guy. I got a good feeling about this. Wow, awesome car. Hey, Gus.
Yo.
Oh, hey, Gus, I'm John.
Hi, John. Good to meet you.
Hey, glad to know you. I like a man in a cowboy hat.
Well, all right.
Up here in the high country in Colorado, you see that now and then.
That's it, yeah.
Kind of old school, you know?
That's how we roll.
That is how we roll in Colorado in the high country.
That's it.
That and beautiful Mustangs.
Yeah, that's a bad boy right there.
I believe you.
Now, Clint down here, was he the one who...
He said that you've been a longtime customer of his.
Okay.
And he knows that I'm looking for American muscle.
Yeah.
And he thought there was a small possibility that you might consider moving on to another project.
Oh, it'd be tough. This is a family heirloom.
Really?
Yeah. My sister got this new back in late '69. It's a '70 Grande, which is an unusual model of Ford. It's a car that has, you don't see a lot of them out there. It has all the fenestration of Mach 1s and Boss 302s, and the sport mirrors,
Right.
the high back buckets, the wood grain dash with the rally clock, the fancy door panels with the courtesy lights. They're decked out like those cars, but it's a coupe. And they came with a black vinyl top.
All the Grandes had the black vinyl top.
They did, but most of them had a Landau style. The top ended here. This was an extra cost option to go all the way back.
Right.
But like a Carson top, it's something that emulates a convertible, and you saw it. Well, you saw it on Clint's 442.
I did.
Everything in 69, 70. They're running a lot of vinyl tops.
Well,
So,
even Chevrolet offered a vinyl top on a Corvette in this day.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, vinyl tops were a big deal.
Chargers. Yeah.
Chargers.
Yeah, sure.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. Exactly right. Well, now, so this is a real Grande.
This is, and it's rust free because my sister lives down in Boulder City, Nevada.
Sure.
And she drove it, and she went to the hospital and had a child in this car. In fact, I went to the Super Bowl in this car when she lived in Santa Monica.
No kidding.
Went to Super Bowl 7 with her husband at the time, and went to the Coliseum and saw the Dolphins and the Redskins.
Crazy
in this
great.
car.
This was
So,
the car,
yeah.
huh?
Looks like John and Gus are getting along pretty good, but by the sound of it, Gus is too attached to this Mustang. It doesn't look like the American Car Prospector is going to have any luck here.
You know, I was talking to Gus about that Grande, and he just didn't want to turn loose of it. And I mean, I was really worried. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. I know I've got somebody for it. Really great car. He obviously wants to build another Mustang. I sure hope I can get it. I wonder, could we give it a quick start?
Sure.
Let's start this baby up.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a category you'd call pro touring these days.
That's what I'm talking about. Old school. Just tell us a little bit about this interior here. I'd like to know more about the gauge cluster and everything, the wood grain dash.
Yeah, it has basically the what you'd see in the Mach 1 and the Boss 302, and that is that imitation wood grain. And over there's that rally clock. And then on this, they have the wood grain in the door panels with the courtesy lights. And then the high back buckets. And so it is done up like kind of a luxury version, but it came without any of the power options. So the only thing that the engine does is propel the car. It doesn't run a lot of smog and air, and not even electric windows. It's
Well, you know, for guys like us, that's probably the best thing.
When we come back on the American Car Prospector, John goes in for the kill on this one-of-a-kind Mustang Grande. Will he get this deal done?
you'd have to pry it from my cold, dead fingers.
Stay tuned. The American Car Prospector has a possible deal going on a rare 1970 Mustang Grande. The owner, Gus, said, "You'll have to pry it out of his cold, dead fingers." He's definitely going to have to step up his game for this one.
Well, sometimes what happens is the money would make you happier than the car. And so if you're in that position, I'm in a position to make something happen here. I realize that you didn't have the car for sale when I got here.
No.
So do you want to just give me a number that I might take to buy it?
You know, it's like I say, it's a family heirloom. And they only made 13,000 of these. This is kind of a rare thing, and like you were pointing out, a lot of these got parted out to make, to make fake Mach 1s and Boss 302s. So these are not plentiful. I just don't see a lot of them on the road.
Neither do I.
You know, I couldn't let it go for less than 40.
40.
You see the stuff coming through the auctions, and
Hey, I can't probably go 40, but I was thinking more like in the 20s somewhere, Gus.
oh geez, no.
It's a great car. I got that. I really got that. It's a great car.
I could maybe come down to 35, but
25? Cash deal,
no.
25?
no. You know, it just means too much to me. When you build something like this, you have almost that much in it, just building it. But in it is all of the memories, all of the fun. You know, I couldn't go any lower than, say, 33 on it.
28.
No.
29?
No.
30,000 and we're done, buddy. I mean,
You got cash?
I'll make it happen
got
at
cash?
30,000, but I mean, I'm done. I can't go. I got to make a living doing this, so you got to leave just a little meat on the bone for me. I work really hard at it. I found a really great car. 30,000.
All right.
Jake, 30?
All right.
You sure?
Yeah,
You're gonna handle the wife and the sister and everybody?
that's my problem. Yeah, that's my job.
Shake on it.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
You bet, John.
Man, that's a great Mustang. I know the next guy's gonna love it. Now, what are you gonna do? Are you really gonna pay bills, or are you gonna build another car?
Well, it'd be tough not to go into another car. Yeah, this is my third Mustang, and so I'd probably keep going down that road.
Probably go find another builder.
Yeah, I'm a Ford guy. I got a Bronco camper. I work out of a Ranger pickup. I got a 55 Ford tractor up there in the barn.
Was it a 9N?
It's a 600.
A 600,
Yes, it sure is. And
Nice.
it's grabber blue.
Really?
Yeah.
What a really great day. It's fun to be the American Car Prospector when things come together like that. I just wish every day could be as good as that one was. It just doesn't always work out like that. But yeah, Gus is a really nice guy, and his wife Jamie is real sweet, and they have a beautiful place up there in the high country. And I'd like to go up there and see what kind of a Mustang project he ends up with in the future. A guy like that probably has one that he's probably car spotted and that he's thinking about going in to see if he can acquire it right now.
Came out, nice guy, and we talked, and we could use the money, so came to terms, and dadgum if we didn't close a deal on it. So you never know what's going to happen. You know, surprised me, and you never know what's gonna come up the driveway.
Well, my friend, can you keep this safe overnight?
Sure.
Okay,
I'll roll it into the garage.
I see the full moon's coming up here on the horizon, and I got to get on to one more thing I got to do today, but I'll be back tomorrow, and you and I will finalize this. You do have the manuals and books and stuff on it?
Sure do.
You probably got a receipt file
Sure
back
do.
to day one.
Yeah.
Just put that all in one spot like a little box.
Okay.
So we can take it with us.
All right.
Hey,
And
I
I could
really
put the
appreciate
stock
it.
manifold in the trunk.
No,
of that.
goes without saying.
All
Thank
right.
you, sir.
Cool.
So we got this one, and this is a super duper rare, rust-free Colorado car. I mean, this is unobtainable anywhere in the world except right here where we have such low humidity. And this guy's taking care of this car. I mean, just look at it. I mean, can you imagine how happy the next guy is gonna be to have this? This Mustang is awesome. And it's another ace in the hole for the American Car Prospector. We're here at Crazy Creations in Denver, and I'm with my friend Rick Murray. He builds radical customs, and today we have what's called the Cadillac Bullet car. Could you come over here, Rick, and tell us a little bit about it?
How's it going?
Right on. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. It's pretty radical. It's actually a combination of everything. The frame was all handmade, but the body started out as a '64 Cadillac, and we cut it and wedged it and connected the front cowling off of a 1929 Model A gas tank. That's what the whole car was based on, was that gas tank. That's where it all started. Then the nose is off a Cessna airplane. The seats and the nose came from Arizona, from Con Air junkyard, from the movie Con Air. We actually went out there and took these seats out of the plane and brought them home, so it was pretty interesting. But I named it for my brother, Randy Murray. It's actually called Randy's Rocket, is the name for it. And my brother's still alive, thank God he's with us, but I'm doing it because he's been one of my inspirations. He's always backed me up, even though he thought I was crazy. He backed me up and said, okay, let's do it. And I had him come down, and he really digged it, and it's definitely an odd car. It's not everybody's liking, but hey, we're gonna build it anyhow.
This car is bagged, right?
Yeah, it's all on airbags. It raises up about A 22-inch lift is what it has. Because of the length. I have had to worry about the lift. Like I said, it's close. We're real close on it. I'm trying to do an airplane cockpit type look on it. My boy brought me a bunch of pictures from, or a bunch of books from his library from school, and I copied a lot of the old aircraft tops. I'm trying to. I don't know if I think I'm nailing it all right, but I'm still working on that.
And this has a V8 for power?
Yeah, it's actually a 454 big block. And I think I'm gonna turbocharge this also.
So the body is all metal?
All metal, it's all handcrafted. It was a two-door car, and as you could tell, we welded the doors closed, so it's a jump-in car. The top's gonna open here on a hinge, like a real airplane cockpit, so we can climb in and climb out. So it's gonna be real interesting to drive on the street.
Then will you paint this car here?
Yes.
Okay.
I was stuck on the paint. I was gonna do a pagan candy gold, but I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Air Force like style in dedication to those soldiers and stuff. I'm gonna do that style of a paint job with the ribs and the fake rivets and stuff. We're gonna do a bomber girl sitting on a bomb airbrushed on the trunk and kind of just more of a dedication to the soldier stuff era.
Wow, that's way cool. And then what does it get for glass?
It's going to be all plexiglass. We're going to use plexiglass.
So it's all plexi?
Yeah, it's going to be plexi. Pretty much I'm trying to make it look as much as I can as a real airplane.
Right.
So it's thick, you know, has that semi-gloss to it.
Are you going to do a pitot tube with an airspeed indicator?
Yeah, actually I have some rockets I had special made. They're spun out of aluminum, and they're the shifter. There's some bombs that sit on the front fenders, and then a hood ornament with the scope, the sight on it. And on the rockets, it's engraved Randy's rocket. I had them special made, and they costed a few bucks.
Right on, yeah.
They're gonna look cool. This car doesn't have a whole lot of money in it, but where it does have money, I want it right. I'm trying to hit, like I said, to get the soldiers to enjoy the whole concept of it.
So will this car have a title and plates?
Oh yeah, it'll be registered as a 64 Cadillac.
Right on.
3 or 4, one of them. It's not hard to register these cars. One of the big questions you get was it registered. Even police will sometimes ask that question. You know, it's still a Cadillac. We
Right.
didn't change anything other than the front end, but basically from the firewall back is a Cadillac.
Right.
So, still on the road, it's still registered, but I don't think I'm gonna have any trouble with it. We haven't had any trouble with anything else we built, and we built some pretty radical stuff.
Yeah, you do build some really radical stuff here, Rick. There's no
And
question about that.
I think that's one of the reasons I pushed that limit to see where they'll say no more, you know. So far they haven't, so I'm pretty good on that.
So there isn't a limit that you found yet, huh?
No, I actually took one of my builds to Las Vegas a couple years ago, and I heard from from Bo Huff, which is a very good friend of mine. I helped build a car with him, but he told me I crossed the line. And I told him jokingly, well, where was the line? Because I should have crossed that a long time ago. I didn't know there was a line, and I still believe there is no line.
Right on, brother.
You know?
Thanks for
Thank you.
showing us the
Yeah, no problem.
Randy's rocket.
Yeah, it's gonna be a cool car.
One of the most highly respected Jaguar restoration shops in the whole mid-continent of the U.S. is two brothers, Don and Greg Moore, their wife Michelle. Nate and the rest of the boys are really qualified at English car restoration, and they are super sweet guys who have agreed to take my MGA under their wing and bring it back to life, bring it back from the other side. This is the car that I found down at about Yale and Bannock. And this guy's a day sleeper, and it took me a long time to get to him, but I finally got to him and he agreed to sell the car to me, and we recovered it and took it down to the shop and put about 3 hours of shop time into it. It was a great moment. It had actually not been started since 1992. So that's the car that we're gonna go look at right now, is the 1959 MGA that I found last summer.
Hey, what's going on, John?
Brother Doug, what up?
Not much. How you doing?
Nate'ster.
What's going on?
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
You guys have an MGA of mine in here?
Yeah, we do actually.
I think so.
Somewhere?
Uh-huh.
I'd like to see it. I haven't seen it in a while. picture.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you keeping it for me. You know, it's been nice, safe and sound here, I'm sure.
Yeah, we've taken care of it, kept inside, and, did an initial on it, so.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks again for working on the MGA. I was real comfortable that it was here, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it feels home with all the other sisters and brothers,
I found this car last summer. I was out on the Prowl, and it was getting late, and I saw a tarp and next to a garage at this alley that I was driving down, this dirt alley. And I was by myself. I'd been out all day, and I knew it was something imported. And I stopped and I pulled the corner of the cover up off the right front fender, and I just lost my breath for a second because I realized that I'd found something really cool and original. I could see it had original paint. And I kept after this guy, and at first he didn't want to sell it, but I finally got it. This is an awesome car with only 84,000 original miles. It's as rust-free and as complete as they get. I love this car. Hello, gorgeous.
Well, there it is.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Remember me?
Ace in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Awesome. Let's start it.
You want to try?
I think we should.
We just got to hook up a couple things here real quick.
Okay.
Yeah,
You want me on the starter?
Yeah, just let me do a couple things here.
This is a really great car. This car really deserved to be brought back to life. Eventually, the owner of this car is going to have a lot of fun with it, and it will have a second new life as a running and driving car. I love this car, and I'm really proud of this car, and I'm proud of the way that I found it.
And you're going to want to hit that
I got
starter pull cable there. You want to pull it toward the bulkhead.
Right.
And this thing should start up.
All right.
There we go.
Now that's what I'm talking about right there, man.
Sitting for 20 years.
That's what I'm talking about, brother.
Started right up.
Nice, Nate. That is what I'm talking about.
These aren't that stupid.
We got to start today for the first time since 1992. 1992. It's been sitting.
Really?
That is awesome. The Prowl paid off big time. Thank you very much for doing that for this car, man.
That engine sounds pretty decent after all that.
Sweet. Sweet. Well, we're gonna put it back on the road, all right?
Sure.
Next time we come, let's make it drive.
Absolutely.
What do you say?
Yep.
All right. Next time, Nate, let's drive it.
Anything's possible. Yeah. Probably start with that.
Cats Jaguar. I really worked hard for this car, and I was really lucky that I got it over to Cats and that they've got it ready to go. And next time we find this car, we're going to drive it.
That's a very, restorable specimen. Plus, the engine panned out good. The vitals are really good on it. Starts right up. So that would be one that I would consider restoring.
There's a good base to work with.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
There's a couple of rockers, that need to be replaced, but the car's actually solid. There's something to work with.
And a lot of originality is still there. A lot of original components where it has been, destroyed in the past with people doing their own creativeness. The car's very original. So that'd be a nice one to do.
When we come back on the American Car Prospector, John hits the jackpot.
Oh my gosh.
The American Car Prospector John Hames finds a lot of rare cars. A friend of his tipped him off on a location that housed rare motorcycles in Denver, and he thought he'd stop by and take a look.
What? Oh my gosh, hundreds of motorcycles. Doesn't look like there's a single one of them that was built before about 1970. Oh my gosh, look at this. Phenomenal. I didn't even know this was here. I doubt very many people know that this is here. '58. Ermachi? I'm only guessing. I can't even pronounce most of these. Cimetti, another bicycle manufacturer that went into building motorcycles. Cimetti, Italian, 1966. It says he built many different bicycles until 1984, and very well made, inexpensive motorcycles, which that's one of them right there. Look at this, it just goes on forever. Look at that big old Laverda road bike. Oh, you gotta love these big Laverda road bikes with the track bars on this one. That's a Jota 1000. Boy, you better have your Wheaties the day that you take that out. More Ducatis. Look at this Marini back here. That feels kind of like 1970-ish to me. That reminds me of some of the motorcycles that we used to have around South Denver when we were kids. They were oftentimes street bikes that we converted to off-road use, and we used them both on and off-road. Look at this little thing. It's a little bitty Lambretta mini scooter. So I'm thinking that maybe this one you would carry like on your boat, maybe in your plane. And look, it's electric. It's not even gas. Is it belt drive? It looks like it's electric with a belt drive. I can't see it that well. I've never seen anything like that. But that strikes me as one that folds up so that you could put it into your trunk, maybe carry it in a boat or on an airplane, something like that. What is that? Look at how cool that is with that fairing. It's got the gas gauge and the speedometer. And what are those? Are those the turn signal indicators, or what are those? I honestly don't know. What is this thing anyway? It doesn't even say what it is. I don't know, I give. It's very cool though. It has a Springer front end, like my Bridgestone had. I'm thinking it's 1950s. Is that another Honda? I think it is. No, what is that? Yeah, it is. It's a Dream 50. Now that's got to be a really old Honda. Look at the workmanship in that. That's definitely not your production Honda from 1960 or 70. This is something very special. A Honda Dream 50. That is really cool. So this is a 68, and I think mine was a little bit later than that. It was an R90 as I recall, and mine was not in that condition, but that's a great motorcycle. You gotta love this lower fairing. It's not attached to the top fairing. Like that's what you normally see as the fairing on the handlebars. But in this case, it has this kind of swoopy looking deal here. See how this comes all the way back around the rider's feet on both sides? That's very cool. And the other thing you gotta love about this motorcycle is the turn signals are in the end of the handlebar. How cool is that? I mean, that's really, really cool. Very Art Deco, very 50s. Look at this thing. Fantastic machine. I'm so fortunate that they let me in here to see this. It's good to be me sometimes. It's good to be me. Good to be the American Car Prospector.